Hello to myself and everybody else. This is video 29. So far today, I'm looking at the music for story 4 of Buy Some Milk. And before I start playing this one, basically I'm going to go into some information on what really happened with this. Basically with this one, when I made the music for this, I basically had a bunch of technical difficulties and everything before everything got started. Like, basically around the summer, I had a bunch of technical difficulties for like the first month. Then I was stressed out from school and everything and stuff too, even though it was the summer, and like I had to try to rush and just get some stuff done before school like came back. So then making the music, I was just like rushing as well. With this, I made like a huge mistake and was making like 4 songs at the same time. Like every one I was like, okay, make the boss, the cutscene, the stage, all together at the exact same time, just working on them. Yeah, and that was a huge mistake. So just like in the previous ones from story 1, 2, and 3, I felt like I got better and was able to be like, okay, I learned how to use a bass, learned more stuff about the melody, learned I need to start messing around with the panning of the, sound and everything better. But when I got to story 4, I kind of just forgot all of that and was just like super stressed and trying to hurry up and make something. So a lot of the music in this didn't turn out the best. Like a lot of lessons I learned in the other ones kind of thrown out the window here. So my basses were kind of my melodies kind of afterthoughts and everything. So yeah, it's just the whole thing with that. Like story 4, the music was not my best showing of like improvement or anything. So that was a really big problem. But so far, at most, just listening to them, you can absolutely hear like where the biggest problem going to come from for that. But so far, let's go ahead and play this. This is the fire stage for story 4, also the tutorial. So with this, you'll get to hear like one of the last fire stages I've made, seeing the progression of them, how it gets kind of better to it kind of becoming this. This one isn't too bad in the grand scheme of things for fire stages. Still better than the first one I ever made. But again, still a thing you can kind of just hear when you listen to it. So I'll just go ahead and play it right now. Okay, so for this one, as I said before, again, it really does feel like a lot of stuff I learned in story 1 through 3 kind of went out the window a bit here since I was rushing, and since I made story 3, it was like a year. I'm trying to think, when was it? Yeah, because I made the music for that in the summer of, I think, 2020. I'm trying to think when. Yes, it had to be the summer of 2023. I'm pretty sure when I made that. It was either summer 20. Yeah, it had to be summer 2023 when I made that. So basically, I was just like rushing and everything to try to make that for. Man, no, I think I'm wrong here. So far for. Yeah, whatever. So far, again, just basically the main thing is that the music for Story 3 I made in 2020, like summer 2023. Then the summer 2024 is when I made this music. So basically a year-long gap, but it's always a year-long gap between each time I start making music or even start making music, period. So that's why it's always like a whole thing with that, and I end up forgetting like what I was doing and stuff before. But with this, definitely had to say, like, just hearing the melody again, the melody for it actually doesn't sound really 100% too bad. Cause I used it for the trailer for story 4. So just hearing the melody again. Yeah, so far again doesn't really sound too much like an afterthought. But yeah, the drums, I definitely just kind of like use the exact same thing through it. I was kind of like rushing and stuff a bit. Use like one different one for like I basically used 2 for all of it. I just used like 3 to kind of like switch it up a bit. For this one, I definitely focused on using the bass most of the time for this. I think maybe I probably got an idea from the trailer music from story 3, maybe, because with this, it doesn't really sound like a ton like an alarm or anything, which is usually my main like mindset when I'm making making a song for the fire stage. So, like I said, for this, it really doesn't sound too much like an alarm just to hear it again. Yeah, it really didn't sound like that, but yeah, so I think basically the melody was probably inspired by the tutorial stage of story 3. And then the bass, I was just kind of trying something to see like if I can get something to sound good with this. Because just hearing the bass go along with this. Yeah, just the only thing is I don't like how how them together doesn't sound 100% right. Because it feels like there's like, I don't know how to say it, like maybe like weird peaks or something with the sound when the melodies are together like that. Because just hearing the bass on its own. Yeah, I think, because definitely like around this part here, just hearing that again, sound like the sound like makes a weird, it might be because I don't have everything level 100% with a triangle wave, and with this one, I should have probably messed with the triangle wave a bit more to get that part to sound better. Because just notice when it gets to right here, it sounds like the sound like kind of peaks weirdly. Like it just shifts or something. Or like volume drops. I really don't know how to describe it. Like it just sounds like something messed up happens there. And everything with that. And then really just with the whole thing itself. Like it doesn't sound too bad or anything. Like it's not like, oh, this sounds completely terrible. Because again, I still say story 1 sounded the worst out of all the fire stages. Because that was my first try. So of course. But just with this, again, just kind of rushing to make it. I at least say this one sounds pretty good. Let me try to think. In story 4, there's probably about like off the top of my head 2 songs I say that sound pretty good in this. Maybe 3, but one of them kind of sounds weird with headphones on. But oh yeah, I still made the same mistake again. Made this with no headphones on and everything. Got rushing so much. So I'll really try to correct that problem when I get to story 5. I'll try to take my time, headphones on, mess with the panning, just everything like that. But so we're just hearing the second part of the bass. Yeah, so at least tried something here and everything. Like it didn't sound too bad. The transition between these 2 basses kind of sound okay. Just yeah, basically just the drum change on it, change the pacing sounds pretty good on it. Just the main thing again, really with this, just rushing was the biggest problem. But in the grand scheme of things, that didn't sound too bad. It fits with the tutorial slash fire stage. It was good for the tutorial, so at least I did pretty decent okay with this. Just next time, mess with the bass, square, and triangle wave. Make sure those guys are like mixed a bit better. Cause it sounds fine in certain areas, but like in other ones, it sounds like it like peaks or drops really low in certain areas. So I really gotta mess around with that more. But I'll go and look at the next thing. This right here is the music for the gas station boss of story 4. So I'll just go ahead and play this. Yeah, to start off with this, if I could, I would smack myself in the back of the head for using the 1/4 pulse. That already is a problem I could hear just the moment I just heard. Yeah, the moment I heard that, I was like, yeah, I messed up there. Beyond that, the other thing with this, again, because I was in a rush, I was trying just like really hard to just like try to do something. What was I doing here anyway? Like apparently I have like 2 chip waves and everything too. I guess I was trying something with the sound. I guess I really like because again I was rushing to make all of these. So the biggest problem was trying to come up with songs because in total for every one of these songs, I'm trying to think how long it took. Because I basically had like a month to make about like a lot of songs, I basically spent maybe like at most 3 or 4 days. Basically, I probably spent like 5 days making 4 songs at the exact same time, like every week. Sometimes it might have been like 3 days making like 3 songs or 4 every week. Like I just kept like doing that over and over again. So because of that, I just made like a lot of mistakes and stuff here too. Just because we're doing that, trying to come up with like a sound for a lot of this, it just was a really big problem. The main thing and stuff with that too, and all just like the bass itself, because I was trying to get a sound similar to like the first few gas station ones, in which like really I just need to use the FM bass. But again, I couldn't come up with a sound or an idea to make it sound like a boss fight and a bit more interesting. So I just ended up with, yeah, like I legit just have no idea. I was like, okay, it sounds fine, just work with it, move on. And that was like a huge problem there. Because again, just hearing that melody the whole time, just the high pitched, yeah, it does not work with that really at all. I have a whole like other channel I didn't even use at all. Even either way, still 1/4 pulse, so then that probably wouldn't have been good anyway. But just rushing through this whole thing, biggest mistakes, like I said again, using 1/4 pulse. Like if I use that, I really gotta make sure it sounds good with what I'm using. Like just adjust the sound way more, use unison or something. I don't know. The bass, just try to come up with a better idea for this so I can just have something a bit more catchy. Because again, this just really sounds kind of like a bit low energy. Just yeah, really just it's not really it. Yeah, cause I just based through a lot of this and so far just like yeah, I'll settle and just move on because I don't have that much time. Just hurry up and make something. So that was a really big problem. So I gotta try to make sure just to not rush, try not to settle, just legit try to make something I'm actually proud of and go like, okay, this sounds good. Mess around with channels if I need to. Just I need to just work on that way better. But yeah, so far there's really nothing left I can say too much. I'm probably not going to say in the other videos and stuff like that too. And it's probably just nothing else I can say that won't just be, oh yeah, I was stressed out and rushing when making this. So basically that's really all I got to say on these two and everything. So to myself and everybody else, see you in the next one.